Magic the Gathering, also known as Magic or MTG, is not just a fantasy-themed card game, but in fact a critical thinking strategy game for people of all ages. It was created in 1993 by Wizards of the Coast. The game is the most popular in its field with over 19,000 cards printed. Players collect cards in various packs and bundles to build decks and compete against each other using unique strategies. To achieve victory, players can yield up to 5 colors of energy or mana while managing card types and resources such as lands, creatures, spells, artifacts, their life totals, and even sometimes the graveyard. The 5 vital colors of the game are white, blue, black, red, and green, each color representing a type of mana and allows the player to use a strategy most suited to their personality. Magic the Gathering has attracted players from dozens of countries around the globe. Wizards of the Coast holds competitions, tournaments, Grand Prix, Pro Tours, and a World Championship. The game is both played professionally as well as casually. Many local game stores and hobby shops not only sell the cards, but hold tournaments of their own. Many stores, including Jinx Collectibles and Titan Games and Hobbies, attract people from the Magic community and unite them with other players.
I started playing Magic January 2017, so about a year ago.
I started playing Magic around original Ravnica block. I would play mostly like kitchen table casual Magic, with friends and stuff. I didn't start playing competitive until Return to Ravnica is when I started playing competitive Magic.
Probably 7 to 8 years ago by now.
Man, I started playing Magic around 10 years ago during Eventide. So that had to be during middle school, late like 8th grade around then.
I started playing Magic when Portal came out, was my first set. My friend bought me the Portal original starter box.
Towards the end of like Lorwyn Shadowmoor block, in the beginning of like Shards of Alara. So like 11 years ago, something like that, 12.
I learned to play when I was in community college for the first time. I was just looking for something to do, and I saw a couple kids playing Magic, so I joined in. I was really, really green at the time, so I knew nothing about the game. I just threw a bunch of red cards in a deck and, played and thought I was great, but I was absolutely terrible at it.
My friend bought it over. He was excited. He was into it. I might have been 10, 11, and he was like 12. He was super excited that he got into this.
One of my buddies in high school played like from the beginning with his brother from when they were little kids. So one day, like in our sophomore year, I think, he came into school with all his old cards, and we all started playing. And then the next week, we went and all bought intro decks and stuff.
So I actually, a friend got me into it. We were in camp together, and he always had cards, so he let me play with them. I got in for it, right from the beginning. So went out to like a card store the next day, and I bought my first intro pack.
My favorite card is probably this set of lightning bolts signed by Chris Rush. I had them signed probably 4 years ago at this time. They really mean a lot to me now, especially since Chris Rush passed away. Probably 2 or 3 years ago. I got this probably the year before he passed on.
Okay, we have a Rorix Bladewing. I lost the gamble with this. Somebody won $500, very disappointing.
Not currently like on me, but I have a stack of wallet cards in my room that I took out because my wallet was too thick. It was like 40 cards. My favorite card would be Snapcaster Mage or Cryptic Command, something like that.
I dipped this card in some Coca-Cola in front of a very famous Magic player.
Yes, I do have a favorite card. It's Siege Rhino. It's the first card I ever won a game with.
Second thoughts, when I think spent a couple $100 opening packs, got nothing out of it. So, very aptly named.
Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. Yeah, best way to end the game.
And the Tatter Mong Maniac, because this is one of the most powerful cards because of his ability, Bung Blast.
The fact that you can just make so many experiences traveling around and just playing the game In this past year, I've traveled to several different places. I've traveled to Canada and like all up and down the East Coast. And I've done more in this past year than I have in my entire life. Like, this is the most fun year I've ever had in my whole life.
I love that Magic is a really good way for me to challenge myself, kind of. Like, I love puzzles and I love like figuring things out like that. I love stuff that's like complicated. Like, I love really intricate, complicated board games. So it gives me, it's like the best outlet to challenge yourself.
Probably the game itself. It's a very interesting game. You know, it never gets boring really. There's so many things. It's extremely dynamic, and there's always something going on and people to connect with. So I really never get tired of it.
Just having a deck and running through it and just letting it go, do its thing as fast as possible. It's a great feeling.
4 mountains enter, 2 validates, 12 times 2, 24 to you. Okay.
Whenever I'm at a competitive tournament, they think I don't know how to play, and then I just, you know, beat them.
The community, the people that you meet, the places that you can go, travel. You get to go to different states, you get to go to different tournaments and meet new people, and you make friends all over the country, all over the world playing this game.
I consider us a card shop right now. When we opened up our doors, we were called Jinx Collectibles. We were going to be 1/3 card games, 1/3 board games, and 1/3 collectibles. Card games took off, so that's a direction we went forward with. Magic the Gathering is the one with the biggest foundation, so we knew that it was going to play a very important role in the overall success of the store. And they said we grew with what the players wanted.
Titan is important to me because this is the first store that I really felt attached to. I've played a ton of stores when I was just getting into competitive Magic, and then when I came here, there was a good environment, there was consistently run events, and that's really when you're competitive, you just need to have a place to play and play high-level Magic, and everyone who was here was super good sports, super friendly, and then it actually turned into a job opportunity for me. So. I am the head of the Magic department right now, so I oversee all of the buying and selling of Magic product. I run all of the events. We run a large cast of weekly events, so that's usually just smaller events during Monday through Friday. Friday Night Magic is like the biggest thing for any Magic store, and then we have like one big weekly or weekend event in a month, so a larger event like an IQ or a case tournament.
We're building our own little niche in this, you know, the overall gaming community in this area, and that really we are fulfilling a need for the games that we host. Each game has a different personality, each player base has a different personality, and we enjoy being able to supply a venue where players could come in, meet other players that enjoy have the same interest, enjoy the same games, and that we're supplying something that people actually enjoy, and it's ours.
Everybody who comes out to play on a weekly basis is enthusiastic about playing. The worst thing you can do in a competitive game is dread coming out because of the people you're going to face or the format or the way the games play out, but everyone comes out and they're genuinely excited. They talk to me about the decks they're going to play, they talk to me about their matchups when they win and they lose. They really feel invested in the game, so that's just, enthusiasm's always awesome.
One of the first communities we built was our modern Magic community, and within like a matter of weeks, we're going from, you know, not having anyone coming to the door. The next thing you know, we're hosting tournaments with 30, 40 players easily. So we knew that Magic was going to be very important to us.
Most people I've met are all great. I haven't really had any sour experiences. I mean, like every community has like their downsides. Every community has like the people that you kind of want to stay away from, but that's few and far between. At least in my personal experience, it's been few and far between. So I mean, the community is just great as a whole.
I think that as a whole, the Magic community is good. It's supportive of, you know, all the players, and everyone is friendly and gets along and is able to play this game that kind of unites a bunch of people that normally probably wouldn't, you know, be around each other.
And it's a good outlet for a lot of people who might not find themselves in social situations so often.
There are some people who take it way too seriously, and if they don't win a match or something, they'll get too upset, salty, and just like bring down the mood for like everyone around them.
The Magic community complains a lot. You have so many cards. You have so much to look forward to. Wizards is constantly updating and changing the game with every standard, and everything is always compared.
Of course, there's some bad apples, like especially when you get into like the higher levels of competition. You get people who try to shark other players and scum them and like cheat, or they take the game way too seriously.
What I think of the Magic community, it's a lot of good. There's a lot of good people in the Magic community, and there's a lot of crap in the Magic community too. But you just gotta take what you can get, really.
It's something really fun to do, and you can travel around everywhere and just like be with your friends and play it and just really enjoy it.
Because if you spend money on Magic cards, you won't spend them on anything else, especially drugs.
I think how easy it is to get into it. People look at the game, it's incredibly complex, you don't know where to start. But, just purchasing an intro deck and having a friend that knows how to play, or simply watching a couple YouTube videos, it's incredibly easy to pick up and difficult to master.
About how much time and dedication it takes for what seems to be, the joke, a children's card game. When you're testing for, Grand Prix, Pro Tours, if that's what you're aiming for, you are literally playing 100, 200 games a night. We would go to a friend's house after work and play constantly, nonstop.
There's a format of Magic that everyone can enjoy. So if you like group activities and like fun, casual, zany stuff with your friends, then Commander or EDH, that's great for you. And if you want to get into something that's a little more competitive, you don't have a ton of money, Standard's great for you. Or if you love showing off your big, flashy, expensive collection, then you can play like Legacy, or you can foil out a Modern deck. But really, whether you love chess, or you liked Pokemon cards as a kid, or you like different board games like Risk or whatever, Magic kind of takes all the best aspects of all these different games and puts them into one place.